Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise to Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kodash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Salutations to the hopeful elect, pushing this word of sincerity and truth on the four corners of the earth. All right, I've seen this article on RT News from a couple of days ago. Derek Chauvin sentenced to 22 and a half years in prison over murder of George Floyd. Now, to the Democrat, left, whatever you call it, this may seem like a victory or whatever. But if you remember when this George Floyd thing happened, all right, days, after, or maybe the maximum of a week, there was like 3 or 4 more killings caught on tape, all right? So, what the media does, all right, this is just Esau, all right, sacrificing one of his pawns on the chessboard, man. All right, they had to send him to jail to try to calm down the riots or whatever. All right, this isn't a new leaf being turned over by the Edomites, all right, so-called white people or anything like that, This is just, once again, one of the pieces on the chessboard being sacrificed by Esau. They'll sacrifice their own, man. They don't have any loyalty to anything. All right, just like the scriptures say, their children shall seek to please the poor. All right, this is all this is. All right, they sent this man to jail just to calm down the riot activity. All right, all these businesses being destroyed, so he had to be sacrificed. All right, this isn't anything, because if it was, these police would start. Now, when Esau started putting these police to death, which he won't, all right, that's the only way that this would calm down. Like if you killed an innocent Israelite or whoever, the penalty is death. Like no matter what, like that's the penalty for the charge. That's when it's gonna calm down, man. All right, which it won't. But former Minnesota police officer Derek Chauvin, convicted in April on 3 charges related to the murder of 46-year-old black man George Floyd, has been sentenced to 22 and a half years in prison minus time served. Pushing for the harshest possible sentence on Friday afternoon, which the harshest sentence is a death sentence. It's not 22 years. You got Jake that got caught up with drugs that got 22 years and more. The Rayful Edmonds, Alpo Martinez. Well, Alpo was more so the murders he committed. Or even the modern day, small time drug dealer done got that type of time. So that's not harsh at all. Prosecutor Matthew Frank told Minneapolis court that this was not the typical second-degree unintentional murder. Chauvin's attorney Eric Nelson urged that justice should not be served according to public opinion. All right, and it's not public opinion, man. He was caught on camera. All right, it's no opinion. Like, videotape don't lie, It's not an opinion. We saw him put his knee on that Israelite neck and, murder him. All right. Well, you all know, them lawyers is tricky. In accordance with Minnesota law, Chauvin was sentenced only on the most serious of his crimes rather than all 3 related to the same incident. Hennepin County District Judge Peter Cahill acknowledged the suffering felt not only by Floyd himself, but on the families of both men and the wider Hennepin County. He insisted he did not base his sentence on public opinion, sympathy, or the ongoing eruptions of protesters in an attempt to send any message. And that's a straight-ass lie. They did that to calm Jake down in the street. Because if this dude would have got found guilty, it would have been, you remember those riots, it would have been like times 10, The job of a trial court judge is to apply the law to specific facts and to deal with individual cases. Which, once again, he was on camera killing a man. It's only so much facts, The court heard victim impact statements from members of Floyd's family, including his brother Terrence Floyd, who addressed Chauvin directly, asking what was going through your head when you had your knee on my brother's neck, going to the scriptures, that perpetual hatred was going through his head. The perpetual hatred that Esau has for Jake. You look at his face, his face was like, that die, nigga, die. That's what his face was saying. Beg for your life. Since Floyd's 7-year-old daughter, Gianna, appeared by a video, the court also heard from Chavun's mother, Carolyn Paulenti, who said it was difficult for her to hear and read how the media, public, and prosecution had portrayed her son. That's a mother's love, I guess. Because the motherfucker was on camera killing him. Like, what are you talking about? Media, public perception, and prosecution, man. He's on tape, man. She described him as a good man, okay, saying he dedicated his life to the police department and urged a lighter sentence. All right. Chavun stood to offer condolences to the Floyd family, but citing other legal matters, did not make a full statement. All right. Esau has a forked tongue, man. That's why the scriptures say never trust thy enemy. All right. Of course, he got up and probably had some passion, which I didn't see any video or hear any audio of Darren Chavun's condolences. All right, but I'm pretty sure it was heartfelt. Probably shed a tear. That's how they do, man. The sentencing comes just 2 months after a jury declared him guilty of second-degree murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter, all 3 charges stemming from the infamous encounter in which Chavun knelt with his knee on Floyd's neck for over 9 minutes, horrifying onlookers. Chavun has remained in a maximum security prison since his conviction. All right, that was a passionate kill. I'm pretty sure everybody remember that video. All right. The altercation was captured on cell phone footage and triggered a summer of widespread conflict between cops, anti-police brutality protesters, opportunistic looters, that's true, and semi-professional troublemakers on both sides. Agitators even set up autonomous zones in cities like Seattle, while other cities saw outbreaks of violence come and go. The former officer was expelled from the force 1 day after Floyd's murder, would typically face a sentence of about 12 and a half years in prison for such a crime, given he is a first-time offender. Prosecutors, and that's only if you're an Edomite, because Esau done threw the book at first-time offenders in court that are Israelites. Prosecutors in the case requested a longer sentence. However, due to aggravating factors, including abuse of authority as an officer, and the fact that children were present to witness the crime. One of those present was the 17-year-old Darnella Frazier, who took out her phone to film the encounter, footage which became crucial for prosecutors making their case against the ex-cop. Ruling on the aggravating factors in May, Cahill, which was judge, said Chavun treated Floyd with particular cruelty. That's that perpetual hatred, by failing to deliver medical assistance. Nothing the prolonged nature of the asphyxiation, pardon me if I pronounced that wrong. He pointed out that Floyd had pleaded that he couldn't breathe for at least 27 times during the ordeal. Nelson urged the state was unable to prove those aggregating factors existed at the time of Floyd's death, and cited jury misconduct, among other things, as a reason not to grant them. Earlier on Friday, Cahill denied motions by Nelson for a new trial and hearings to examine the claim of jury misconduct. Reacting to the sentencing, lawyer of the Floyd family, Ben Crump, tweeted that the historic sentence brings the nation one step closer to healing. And this is, one of the points that I wanted to grab out of this article, because this is the mind of the modern day Israelite. All right, one Edomite go to jail And now we're closer to healing. Meanwhile, the police are still doing the same thing to other unarmed Israelites. So it's not one step closer. Like y'all love them small victories, man. All right, I got a statue of this nigga, and wherever this is. What is this, Brooklyn? So what, man? So what? You shouldn't be satisfied until Esau's rulership is taken from him, and which it will be soon. All right. So this is nothing. Of course, you see Jake out in the world celebrating and everything like that. This is nothing. Darren Shyman going to jail is nothing, man. It ain't like he about to be in general population. Nobody gonna do nothing to him. That nigga about to be like, oh man, I can't remember if it was Goodfellas. It was one of the mafia movies where they was eating pasta and shit in the jail. I think it was Goodfellas. He about to be living like that, man. Police is a cult or a brotherhood, man. So even though he's going to jail, he about to be living cool in there. Probably get a one-man cell. He's not gonna be in general population. This means nothing, man. But even though it means nothing, it's gonna get celebrated by 2/3 of the nation of Israel, man. Look at this nigga in front of the statue. How proud he is. Yeah, George Floyd. This don't mean nothing, man. Same shit going on in America, man. But I ain't gonna hold you. I just wanted to make that quick video. Hope it was edifying. I'm gonna say shalom.